Going live. Let's see. There I am. I think there's a logo over my head. I don't know if that matters or not. Maybe it bothers somebody. See if I move my head up a little bit. Hey, look at that. One day I'll get this right. That day isn't today. Turn this down. All right. Welcome to Vlog Thursday, episode 174. Wireshark, DNS over TLS, and I don't know if I'll ever talk about business stuff. I always say that, but sometimes I do because there's always business questions that come up. So that's my business stuff in errata. How's that? I was doing some packet captures. We'll talk about that in a second. I have too many things open right now. Let's see. Let's start closing stuff. You guys don't care about this. For those wondering, I still do all my thumbnails in GIMP. That's what it looks like. We just paste and move things around. So we'll quit. And I'll actually, before we jump into that, I'll at least talk about this. I didn't do the review yet. I've just been preoccupied with business stuff. Yeah, let's hope YouTube stays up and running and doesn't decide that, you know, my live streams when it should just take a giant time to take a crap on itself and die. But anyways. I am working on, and just haven't had time to finish the video. We've actually been testing it since we got it. Maybe, I don't know when we got it now. How long? I rebooted it today as I was working on the video. I didn't have time to edit the video. But this is the Magic Video Tube, and it's the UniFi viewport thing. So you can see I did have the YouTube demo. I started working on that. But yeah, it really, if you're wondering about it, it is a nice system. It works quite well. I like it, and I'm going to have my thoughts. I'm going to combine the viewport and my thoughts a little bit on the Protect system as a whole. So, yeah. So that's going to be coming up, but that's what the picture is of the, as we refer to it, Magic Video Tube. It's actually quite the Magic Video Tube. But I wanted to talk about, and I don't have a ton of time today as I have a few things I got to get done, which has been pretty much the theme of today. Actually, why do I have so many things logged in? Let me start closing some of these. Just in case I drag a window over it shouldn't be dragged over. It's got stuff in it. I don't need that open. That, I can leave that. All right. So the topic is DNS. And let's actually pull up my video on this. Well, where the hell's that at? So someone had a comment on here, and let's find, I'm going to pull up the comment section and go directly to it, and I'll drag it over here in a second. Video comments. They linked to a forum post, and I guess it was probably accurate at the time, but isn't accurate now. Here we go. This, I do read the comments, and I didn't reply to this person. We're going to reply live on here, but I thought this was interesting. So 11113 does not filter content if queries are made over DOT, so DNS over TLS. So any plan implementation. And if you're looking for DNS, take a look at Cloudflare for Teams, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for suggestion. I prefer to Cloudflare implement DOT. And this was 27 days ago. 11.3 needs to stop answering queries if implemented from Android for automatic private DNS. Now, I don't have an account on here. Maybe I'll create one to reply, but this was fixed. And we're going to actually test this real quick here. We'll start with this part of the DNS. So there's a lot that goes on with DNS. I thought about maybe I'll take the time to do a deep dive into DNS. I've covered it like in pieces, but I've not done a single video about the DNS system. But let's go through and walk through these settings. So first, we're going over here to Services, DNS Resolver. And we see enable forwarding mode, use SSL TLS. Just did a video out the other day. And what this does is tell pfSense to use these DNS settings, 111.2, and take these settings, go ahead and use them, and use this specific DNS server. And take the queries and use them over port 853. So you could even go here, diagnostics, PF top, and we could say, this is our lab server, by the way, for those wondering, port 853, and we'll go over here. We'll go to this box here that's behind the lab. Matter of fact, if you see, it's connected to the studio network. Take my word for it on some things. I've had people tell me I'm faking all of it. I'm like, I have nothing to reply to those people. But anyways, so dig google.com. It should pause because I just restarted all this. It's thinking, hey, look, we resolved Google. We go over here. Hey, look, we've got queries going out port 853 to 1.1.2:853. So here is the whole system by which you can see that it's doing what I say it's doing. So it's going out over 853, it's querying this particular DNS server, and away we go. So actually, we're going to leave this open and open up another tab and go over to System, General Setup. Now, 1.1.1.2, if you're not familiar, so we'll pull that up real quick. Whoops. Is this. So introducing 1.1.1 for families, which is actually 1.1.2 and 1.1.3. So I covered this before too. So we have two flavors. 1.1.2 is no malware. 1.1.3, no malware and no adult content. So, you know, the real good sites are all going to be locked. So this is how that works. And the question for those of you that are just joining, because I've seen a lot of people joined recently, is going to be, well, you know, why does it not work when you make a port 53 normal DNS? It responds and sinkholes those bad sites or sites that they want blocked. But when you do it over TLS, it does not. So what we're going to do is do all of our queries over TLS to answer the question. So we're going to change it now to 1.1.3. Well, matter of fact, before we change it, we'll go back over here real quick and we'll do a dig. I'm positive that site would be blocked. Oops. Did I spell it wrong? Probably. I may have to restart it. I may have some cached entries. There we go. So right there, we see that if we dig this site right here, pornhub.com, I don't want to get banned. See if I can make that bigger. Well, you know what? I think I can do it this way. Well, I'll log in to make it easier. Anyway, you can see this IP address is resolving, so we can get to this particular site. So, can I append a space to my PS1? No, I will not. Never heard of it. Yes, I'm sure none of my staff go there. Let's go over here to pfSense, and we're going to change it to 1.1.1.3 now. Save. All right, now we're using that, and we're going to services, DNS resolver, and we're going to restart that service to clear the cache on it. So restart the service. All right, service restarted. Go back over here. You can see it's making all the call outs now. Well, we still have some stale requests going out to 1.1.2. So, yo, it's Xavier. So now we can see, okay, the stale requests are expiring. So now we have port 853 being used. So let's go ahead and just do a Google query again. Dig google.com, dig orangesystems.com. It's resolving addresses. And I bet if we go back over here now, cool. All the queries are now going to 1.1.3 over 853. Now the question is, what happens when we dig that other site? So let's go back and try that real quick. So scroll down. I made it a little bit bigger so people can see it. And pornhub.com. And it sinkholes it right here. So this person, I'm going to reply, I just tested this on my vlog Thursday. I spelled Thursday right. URSD. Live stream. What live stream are we? number 174, and the issue has been resolved. There we go. We've now debunked it. Now the question is, I guess maybe someone will cite my video and can go and follow the Cloudflare link if they want and see this. It's a comment on the video, but I do take the time to read comments. I do take the time to investigate what people are talking about here. Now I will admit, and I did comment to someone else in here. Someone says, "Well, you're still not hiding everything if you do that." What do they mean? So now I'm going to show you some Wireshark to, yes, we are encrypting the DNS, which someone mixed up of the DNS encryption. And if you do this, so, well, DOH kills filtering, but DOT doesn't. This is DOT, not DOH. We're doing DNS over TLS. If your browser uses DNS servers that aren't pfSense, then yeah, you're bypassing any type of filtering you have in here. By the way, in my video, one of the things I pointed out and answered the question for people is make sure you don't break this down here at the bottom where it says server include var unbound pfb underscore dnspl star.conf, because what that is doing is that is gathering up the data that the add-ons, I should say, not really data, getting up the added configurations that DNS blocker puts in there for PF blocker. So the vlog is usually around 4 on Thursday, but it's, yeah, it varies a little bit. We try to do it between 4 and 5. It just kind of varies with my day. I probably should put it in as a schedule, but when it comes to the money clients, I usually give them priority. That's usually what shuffles things, around. But back to the DNS thing. So one more privacy setting that is very worthwhile. And we're just going to show the failure because the privacy setting to set is actually pretty easy. So right here is this system. And I'll switch the DNS servers real quick. Just in case, we'll set this one back to the 2. I guess it doesn't really matter for the sites we're looking up. Services, DHCP server, or DNS resolver. We'll just restart the service real quick. Restart. All right. And now I have done videos on this, but this is pfSense Wireshark. And for those that are going to ask, I did a whole video on how this works. This is allows you to do real-time packet captures inside of pfSense and pipe it right back over to Wireshark. So if we were to log in and p222 root at 192.168.3.152, I think it is. There we go. The LAN is XN1. So we're going to pull the LAN side information out of this particular system and go from there. So let me go into 0, and we're going to fire up the pfSense Wireshark. Actually, we'll one more time show this. So we're seeing Wireshark 152 port 222 XN1. So grab the LAN side post, and we're going to show what can be seen. Now, I want to bring this up because this is something I didn't point out in the video, but I was, when I'm saying if you use DNS over TLS, that means you are now encrypting the data transport between pfSense and what are using Cloudflare, but whatever DNS of your choice is, you're encrypting from the pfSense WAN all the way to Cloudflare with DOT or DNS or TLS. That means the ISP would not be able to sniff your DNS. Now that's a good thing because you may not want them to, and of course people worried about privacy or whatever else, encrypting your DNS traffic one more layer. But this is what someone pointed out, and I said, yes, while it is a privacy enhancement, and it's harder for them to do this, it's easy for the ISPs, especially because the most general users never change their default DNS. They leave the default DNS to being the ISP DNS, which means they're just gathering up every query and get to see all of it. So we're going to go ahead and do the wire capture using Wireshark. We'll show that over here. All right, there's Wireshark. Actually, we'll probably have to, there it goes over here. I can't drag them both on the same screen. But now, there we go. So there's the DNS query. Now, this is on the inside of the network, so these DNS queries aren't encrypted. You can see, hey, look, it's lawrencesystems.com and the DNS query. But if we go here, and we're going to open up Links, which is a command line web browser, HTTPS, lawrencesystems.com. Now, this is cool. It's going to send a request, response, request, response. And I'm just going to cancel. I don't really need the page to load because we wanted to just get the Wireshark information. Now, this is where the problem comes in, because this is where SNI comes in. And the challenge is, where's the packet that has it? This is why I usually don't, somewhere along the lines, we sent a packet right there. There's the DNS query again. No, we don't want that one. Got to find that one packet. Where's the magic packet we're looking for? I'm looking for the SNI packet. It's in here somewhere. Okay, we can probably filter for, hold on, filter for that IP address. So if we follow the stream, where's the first one? I'll just do a stream follow. Follow stream. There it is. There's that unencrypted piece of information we were looking for. Now, even though, please note, we've highlighted it's in the client hello. And even though we're doing, yeah, it's right there. Even though we're doing everything and the latest TLS 1.3, one of the things you have to send is the SNI. Now, the problem with the SNI is that is to help let it know what certificate to send because of multi-hosting. So this would be a piece of information that someone would be able to see. Now, they can't manipulate or change this information, but it does pass across before the encryption starts, unless you're using SNI. So if you go over here and we go over here, we're going to quit this real quick, because I don't really need to save it. And we look up Firefox. Whoops. And this is all the way from 2018. To my knowledge, and I'm not sure that Google Chrome can do this yet, but Firefox does support this. So if you want to go a step further and also encapsulate more information, so like your ISP or someone can't see it, then you would also probably want to look at something like encrypted via SNI. So if you do encrypted SNI, what that does is goes a step further. And I have a test here on Cloudflare where you can test if you turn it on. Where is the flag? They have not turned it on as an option yet. It's still a flag that you have to turn on. I'm going to open up Firefox real quick and bring it over here. Is it under SNI? Nope, it's not under SNI. Fox, turn on. Or maybe it's in the bottom of this somewhere. ESNI. All right. Oh, there we go. Toggle that to true. Now you can go and turn on SNI. So now we've added an extra encryption layer. And I may do a video on this if there's enough interest to kind of show some of the privacy settings you can do that are helpful. But I think that's one of the things is when, there's an argument. Do you want to hide everything from ARSP? Does it matter? I think some people go a little bit too crazy and want to do that all the time. And that's a real frequent problem. But I mean, there's some valid reasons you don't want necessarily, because things can be taken out of context. What if some metadata somehow encrypts you or incriminates you in some way because of an ancillary reason, not a direct reason, guilt by association, guilt by someone else, you get caught up. Someone did something stupid that you're an associate with, so then they took something out of context. And I say that specifically because I have like my writer friends who say, boy, the things I Google for writing my fiction sure look suspicious. And so they take the time to make sure they're encrypting everything they're sending because, like they said, things you're looking up to write fiction of whatever that might be may look rather suspicious while taken out of context of not knowing they're a writer. So I get there are some very legit reasons to doing it. But my problem a lot of times is even if you're using a VPN, you have to then trust that VPN provider. And I don't care how many audits they go through. The day they pass the audit, tomorrow someone else can go in there and, change things, if you will, about the companies. So that's why I've never been a big pusher. You don't hear me pushing every day. Trust me, they want to throw money at me, just like every other YouTuber has. If you're on YouTube and you have any audience, you will get the call from NordVPN. They would like to sponsor every YouTuber out there if possible. I have no affiliation with them. I've turned them down every time. We just have, because it works and because I like the fact that the company spent money on auditing OpenVPN, but I know there's a lot of people that hate PIA because they were bought by another company, some VC company, blah, blah, blah. But that being said, if you're going to trust, I don't trust any of them. So why really choose one over another? To me, I haven't found any of them that I thought were so trustworthy that I recommend one over another. Now, some have obviously, through getting in trouble, selling data, etc., have been busted for being in trouble. But I don't know. There's nothing about PIA that makes me think they're better or worse than anyone else, even with their recent purchase. And I kind of said, that before. So it kind of depends on your use case of what you want to hide and what you're trying to hide. Firefox having SNI is nice because it's one less piece of metadata that can be gathered about you. Whether or not, this is one of those things, even if you are using a VPN, you probably want to still turn this on to help hide some of that on there. It's hard having privacy on the internet. It just wasn't designed for anonymity and it wasn't designed for privacy. That's just the fact of the way it works. So yeah, it's a challenge. That's kind of my rant on that, I guess, if it really wasn't a rant. I don't know. I'm going to catch up on the comments now. So which question is, which one do I use for speed test? I don't know. I use different speed tests. As a matter of fact, I often try more than one when I'm trying to determine which works. So there's not like an easy answer. Yeah. Oh, guys, see, I'm catching Steve LTS. Yeah. Use them all. That's a good answer. They don't always give the right answers, so. The ESNI test that Cloudflare has unfortunately seems to work with those using DOH. I'm pretty sure it does work with both. So you can use, because I believe I tested this at home on Cloudflare to make sure it was working. Yeah, I've thought about setting up the HTML5 cloud test thing because it's pretty cool. So, because it can be very crazy when you're trying to figure out which, the jitter. The jitter is usually what matters more. Latency and jitter and some of the reasons, and I've done a video on CoddleQ before, those are probably more problematic than your actual speed you get. I mean, top speed's cool, but it's from a gameplay standpoint. If you want to play games, well, you need low latency. You need to not have buffer bloat and things like that. Those are the things that will hang you up more. Because I've seen people with plenty of speed, but without proper queuing and proper traffic management, you have a problem of poor quality of service on internet. Also, I'll comment real quick because this was a comment I did. I'm going to turn this off in this particular system. Actually, you know what? Let's turn that back on. So Firefox, we can actually test that real quick. So if we do, turn that to enabled. Whoops. So there's that. Not working, but let's close and open Firefox. So it still shows it not working. I think maybe you're right. You do have to run it off of, if I turn on DOH, does it work? So, where's that under options? I don't use Firefox. I don't change the options in Firefox enough. I'm staring at it, I know they're all right here. There we go, settings. Oh, I've got it enabled and it's not working. That's weird. So that's enabled on this one. I'll turn it off, maybe it works. Open it back up. Huh. It still thinks it's not. It works at my house fine. It's not working here. I was playing it at home. So, yeah. Try incognito mode. Could be. Is it cached? No. Still says it. Interesting. Yeah, there's a blog post on it, but yeah. Interesting. Huh, I don't know why it's not working here. Strange. Reality is, I don't worry about it as much. You can tell it was already not enabled. I mean, it's hard to be anonymous on the internet. It's just kind of, it's a challenge. So. Won't DOH use? Yes. If you're using DNS over HTTPS, it's bypassing PF blocker. So yes, you are going, if you bypass PF blocker, then yeah, you're not going to get any of the features in there. That's the nature of it. Matter of fact, that's a common request people get. I'm like, the only way to really do it is to force everyone to have a certificate everywhere. If you have everyone with a certificate everywhere and they can only get on with a certificate, that's a good lockdown network. And everyone goes, that's a lot to manage. I'm like, yes, it's a whole lot to manage. You're not wrong. It kind of depends on whether or not you want to manage all of that. That's what it comes down to. My friends that work in large corporate networks that have taken the time, some of the medical ones, to do that, yeah, that's part of their job. And everything breaks on it. They're constantly playing with the stupid filters. I can't remember the name of the one that my friend was using at the hospital before he left working there, but it was crazy. I mean, it was like in Xavier, I seen him in here a minute ago. He'll tell you, anytime someone sets up one of those type of proxy filters like that for full reverse proxy of every site, that turns into someone's job managing the full resite proxy because it breaks things constantly. Every time someone goes to a new website or they change something, every time a banking website makes an update, you have to do some change to the proxy to make it work again. It's a cat and mouse game, and all those proxies, any of the good ones, cost a decent amount of money. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. So that's kind of my talking. You get what you pay for. And even then, and we'll actually talk about this, I'm working on a new review of Untangle because, you know, people ask, why do you like this, and blah, blah, blah. And it's pretty simple that if you get Untangle, does it just get Untangle? There we go. See, appliance, configure. There it is. They have all their pricing up front. So they have all of those features built in. And let's say you have 50 devices, it's going to be about $1,000 a year, and you can save by buying a 2 or 3 year license, etc. But one thing about Untangle, if you want all of that kind of turnkey functionality built in, these guys have put a lot of that together for all that filtering and everything else. But the thing about it is, people want, this is the problem I get, and I get people contact us all the time. I want pfSense to work like Untangle. Cool. Then someone Untangle didn't just write the software different. They have feeds pulling from Untangle to constantly keep this up to date and work to make it function like that. So it really depends. If you want those features, I tell people just go buy Untangle, because if not, you have to decide. And here's a real quick math equation. Let's say you work for a company with 100 people in there, and it costs you annual $2,000 a year annually to do it. How much of your time before you, in a year of messing with trying to get something to work, before you just go for $2,000, and a company with 100 people can probably afford $2,000, I hope, the price suddenly starts making a lot of sense. Like it's $2,000 to get something that just works, that they need filtering, they need specific things, such related to certain users having Facebook blocked and things like that. It's one of the reasons, and they just have a nice SSL installer and everything else if you need to put a certificate in, but it works pretty well. So yeah, just leave the proxies off. Yeah, there's different ways to configure it, and it's always a pain. That's why I've only seen commercial products work decent on this. I don't know anything for free, and even the commercial products get things wrong sometimes, and you got to tweak and mess with it to get it to work. It's not, as much as I'd like to say they're turnkey, they're not always 100% turnkey. There's always some level of tweaking that you have to do to make it work. You know what the weird thing is? Is there a reason why? It's all set to public. I see more people in here, but it's only showing 14 people on the stream, which is unusual. I usually have a lot more people on the stream, so that's weird. Anyways, not to get too off topic. 14 people, but only 2 likes. They made the stickers wrong, but Kyle made these. They just didn't print them right. It says bash the like button, so go ahead and do that. They're supposed to be die cut, and I don't know the backstory of why they're not die cut. They came as stickers, like big stupid stickers, not die cut stickers. So YB3R, thank you for the donation, and thanks for all the great tutorials and always entertaining content. Awesome. Okay, so my page isn't refreshing, but we have 192 watching. Thank you, William Daughtery. Yeah, Kyle had to open a ticket. That's great. This is what I'll drag my screen over. This is what I see. It only says 14. I can see the chat, which is a way improvement from last month, but this is what I see in terms of that. So, anyways. So I am working on the Untangle review. So back to, as a matter of fact, if we go here, Untangle 15, I've got it loaded. I'm going to be putting together a, can you give video inception? Yeah, I actually can do that. How would I, what does it? I think it does it best if I do it this way. This way is way more fun. Anyways, that's completely useless, but fun. Are you using YouTube Premiere? I have not tested any of the Premiere. So yeah. I mean, I haven't used it yet. I know what it is. Or did you typo and mean, am I using YouTube Premium? If you asked if I'm using YouTube Premium, yes. So I don't have to watch ads on YouTube. You know, the only thing I found weird, now there is a free version of Untangle, by the way, as well. So for those wondering, you can just go right to the free download and find the tag for it. It's actually easier to download it from their wiki. There's something stupid inside of here. I can't remember. They had something that keeps getting blocked when you try to download it. It goes, some reason their site's sinkholed, which is strange. I haven't figured out what entry I have that fixes it because I don't care enough. Because I just downloaded it from their wiki. Skip to downloads. There we go. Yeah. This gets PF blocker. Something in my PF blocker does. I haven't really looked. I could go through logs. I just don't care enough right now. Because you can also go to their Their wiki has all the other stuff in there. Oh, current version is 15.1. When did this come out? They should put dates on things. Maybe I've already downloaded 15.1. I don't know which one I downloaded. I know where I put it, so let's look. It's in XCPNG. So what version did I download? Interesting. Storage. Oh, I downloaded 15, so I need to download the other one. So let's go ahead and download that so I can have that version in there. I need to go here. I can't remember where I put things. Zen server ISO wget. Huh. Didn't like that. Oh, I didn't. I need the ISO. Watching Tom make mistakes in real time. There we go. Now I have Untangle 15.1. Well, I will in ETA 4 minutes. Weird compression issues. Yeah, YouTube does that every now and then. Michael Alvarez, $3 donation. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. All right. 195 watching. Wow. What else do we have in here? Logan, yes, I do MSP and I'm a consultant on stuff and things. Anything we really talk about on YouTube, we consult about. So there's a variety of things so people can hire us. Matter of fact, in case those are wondering, my website, which I've had, the weirdest thing is people who tell me things like I couldn't find your website, which is always confusing. It's linked everywhere. And I also, in all my videos, say there's a Hire Us button at the top of our website. So we have that little Hire Us button up here where you can hire us for whatever project, things like that. That's the box for the Magic Video Tube. I'll do the video on that tomorrow. Hey, look, that's downloaded. Untangle 15's downloaded. Oh, crap, I lost the live stream. Where'd it go? All right, cool. So, yes. ESXi Free has the same problem with ad block. That's interesting. Huh. Let's see. Okay, so 15.1 came the 19th. I started testing this before the 19th, so you know, I wonder if I fire it up what version it's on. I can always look that up. So we go over here and we just shut this one off. They're on the same, they use the same IP addresses and everything, so if they're both on, I have a problem. So let's go here in my lab and shut down pfSense and fire up Untangle. See what version I'm running. pfSense is shutting down. Yeah. Thank you, Logan. Logan owns an MSP over in Ohio. Make sure the network share is satch, right? Yep. Yeah, pfSense blocks Untangled. They don't like competition. We'll go with that. No, you cannot contact a robot. You can only contact humans. There are no robots here yet. Yes, stupid humans, for sure. Untingle. Will I review ZoneMinder? No, I won't, because I tried it. It seemed bad. Unless it has made leaps and bounds better, no. Am I streaming in 60? That's interesting. When did that happen? Oh, I bet an update did that. Yep. I sure did. Okay, that explains that. I wonder if I stop the stream and start the stream, it will break. You know what? We'll just save it for next time. So I guess I'm streaming in 60, so that's causing that. I'm not going to be on here much longer, but I'll remember to change those settings before then. So let's log in. What version does it say we're running? Or does it tell you what version you're running? It's loading everything still. Config about 15.0. All right, I'll have to load the 15.1. So there we go. It is working. Will it do the in-place upgrade? We can upgrade it live here. Config. Upgrade. No upgrade available. Oh. I think I can following all this. Have you ever gotten the advertised speed of a Wi-Fi device? Maybe. I don't. It takes. I want to grab something for that. Anyways, Untingle is still at this version. I'll when I do the video, I'll do it on 15.1, seeing as that's out. Which is, I was going to load it anyways, because I'm going to for my video, I want to share a lot of data, and I can't share client data, but I can share my home data. So I'm actually going to put one in at my house for all the testing for the video. There we go. This, when you're testing access points, one of the challenges you'll have is making sure you have something that actually works for doing this. And this alpha, it works great. This will probably do that. So you could probably get full speed if you were testing with something like this. So these are I've done a review of this particular device. It's really fast. And the only reason I bought this was really so I could do the tests at higher speeds for testing things. So I plan to do a video on that soon, and on some Wi-Fi stuff, because I have one of the 5G things hanging out there. So the face hugger, as we call it, yes. Because it kind of looks like the alien thing that would just grab your face. So we do call it the face hugger, like a mask. So anyways, yeah, if you want to do Wi-Fi testing, you really need solid Wi-Fi antenna. And if you want really fast speed, don't use Wi-Fi. That's the bigger answer all the time. So yeah, it's hard to get the full speed out of that. We'll just leave it at that. So let's go ahead and shut this down. Shut down. Untangle's been around for a while. Anyways, not going to dwell on that. It's shutting down now. There you go. Nope, we don't have Wi-Fi 6. I don't care much about Wi-Fi 6. I don't need. Matter of fact, at home, at my house. Well, you guys are gonna laugh. So I just gotta log in on our screen and I'll drag it over. Where's Tom's house? Here's my original, the old school UniFi APLR. And if you're not familiar with this, where do they have? Not the ACLR, APLR. I don't even know if there's a. Yeah, there it is. There's my old. This is the one I'm still using with the super old. I've had this forever. Like, I mean, a long time. And yes, it's only 2.4. I don't Wi-Fi 6. I'm still running 2.4 at home. Anything I care about when it comes to speed is going to be hardlined in. It's as simple as that. It's just one of those. It's not really that big of a deal to me. Like, I don't understand why. And maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe there's the killer feature that I missed that no one told me about of why I need it. But for the most part, everything I want that's fast. Wow, this is cool looking back. This is, whoops, I'm still got my face big. Look how old these screen menus are for this device. Like, when did this device come out? It was a long time ago. I've had it at my house forever. It feels like forever. I don't know, a long time anyways. But I don't know. I just don't care much about Wi-Fi speed. It's just not. It's not something that matters a lot, because if I care about how fast something is, it's hardlined. My gaming system, hardlined. Yeah, this is so old. It's Windows 7, Vista, and XP are still listed in here. But anyways, so my home is still 2.4. We do at least have 5 gigahertz at the office, but we never think about it. Even when we're transferring files for customers, we're not running around and connecting them over Wi-Fi. If we have a customer machine here, we're going to plug a network card into it. So, yeah. It's just one of those things, and it's yeah, I don't know. I'm going to quit babbling about that. So, I feel like I'm not adding any more value. About amplifying 4G antenna single into the house. Amplifying cell phones. You have to buy a cell phone repeater. You need, whoever your provider is, you need a 4G repeater thing. I know what the product is. I've never reviewed or tested them, and apparently that this person's doing. But there's cell phone repeaters. I think they call them femtocell repeaters. So, yep. Yeah, Wilson or Shear. I've heard of some of them. We have really good coverage here, so we just don't need it. It's just not. I get it if you're in one of those areas that needs it. But usually you reach out to whoever your provider is, and we've had clients with this. So if they're with Verizon, then you get one from Verizon. Any of the companies usually sell one of those devices, and they get the job done. They're not illegal, but they do highlight the problems with they do highlight issues with the way authentication happens on cell phones, and it's the way a lot of cell phone hijacking happens. Yeah, someone said T-Mobile will give you one for free. I think that's pretty true. A lot of the carriers, if you have a contract with them, I've seen our clients get them for like $50. They're really cheap. And the reason why is because they want you to use the phone more. So but what they did highlight is the fact that the cell phones will attach to these devices pretty easily. And what that means is if someone wanted to do something like, hijack cells, they can. And extra cell towers. This was a fun. Is there an image in here? Someone had broke this down about all the extra towers that appear at DEF CON. Someone made a map of the extra ones. EFF's got an article on it. Someone made a cool graphic of Vegas before and after DEF CON. Well, before and during and after DEF CON, showing where all the cell tower locations were. It was kind of cool. It's a fun article, but it's a dive into that particular topic. So, because you could just sit there and, they essentially did demo that exact type of attack in Mr. Robot. It's not completely theoretical. There's, there are places that have certainly done it, and what was that thing called? The FBI was doing it for a while. So, they've been right here in Detroit was where it got busted. So let's see. FBI plane Stingray. There we go. Right in Dearborn. This was in the Detroit News back in 2015. And they identified the planes and where the planes were flying, which is also, look at their flight path. Squibble, 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 squibble. Like, we're just going to circle here. Nothing suspicious going on here, folks. And, this is an interesting dive into it so they could gather data. So it's actually, Mr. Robot did it, but it's not something that it's not something that's implausible at all. It's completely something that was being done. Now, of course, they were gathering, not hijacking. Mr. Robot's use case was a little bit different, but anyways. Too fly for a Wi-Fi. Yep. Yeah, a Cessna's not the first idea of a spy plane. Yeah. I'm thinking we need to rename our Wi-Fi. The old joke of has hit. Well, maybe we should do a Twitter poll of renaming my Wi-Fi. But I kind of like Wu-Tang WAN. That one is pretty cool. We had a couple others. We had a lot of inappropriate ones that we're not going to say on the channel. Kyle's probably got them all running around in his head right now. There's some fun Wi-Fi names out there, but that is on our to-do list. We're going to rename some of the Wi-Fi at the office because the Promised Lands, that one's okay. I don't like and have never liked the what do you call it? The FBI surveillance ban. That one's never been as funny as everyone seems to think it is. But I do like the 5G, the 5G makers, the COVID maker. It's Mom Click here is a good one too. My daughter's, I had hers in a video. Hers is something like CryptoLocker.exe is the name of her Wi-Fi. Silence of the Land. That's a good one there. Silence of the Land. Detroit PD. Wuhan Wi-Fi. Land Before Time. Silence of the LAN is at least the one I had not heard. Get Off My LAN. Silence of the LAN, though. I like that one. Oh yeah. I remember the Apple, the Apple where you just put the stupid character in there. That was great. That was a fun time. At the time I had a staff member that was using Apple, and so we messed with them with it and broke it. Silence of the LAN it is. I like that one. Lando's okay. So, all right. Well, before I just create a bunch of dead air, I do have some other things I got to go do, and things like that. I will be doing more reviews. Hopefully, the DNS stuff didn't scare everyone away. But Tom's house, that's already another one. Tom's house is the UniFi thing I got. Think. What do I call my Wi-Fi? Oh, Tom's home. Can I pull that up? Oh. Yeah, my Wi-Fi at home is just beer. My Wi-Fi has been beer for a very, very long time. The wireless G-spot. I don't know. What does Kyle think of the wireless G-spot? Anyways, I'm babbling on. This is entertaining, at least, of having all these. We'll pull it over here real quick so other people can join in the reading of this. Close that. Live chat, actually. Pop out. Woo! Drag them all over here. Yell for password. Oh, G is outdated. Yeah. Definitely not OpenSense. There we go. Reading your emails. Tal Shiar. I'm a Star Trek nerd, so I'm okay with this. You know, there's a question, is what are some weird characters I can put in? Would that be... Ooh, ASCII Wi-Fi names. That's a Google search that will probably end badly. ASCII, SSID, Wi-Fi, CL annotated may intentionally prevent some characters from the GUI for other reasons. I guess that would be maybe an issue, but I like that as our Wi-Fi. That's actually pretty fun. But to see if it breaks anything. Cool. And someone even says, works on my UniFi. All right. That sounds like a good name for Wi-Fi. Just a shrug. I like that you dropped this. All right, that's cool. Let's see. Yeah, why the ASCII ones seem to make more sense. Yeah, no, I'll make the password all a series of ASCII characters as well. So, anyways. Can I invite you for a beer, Mr. Thomas Graff? I like beer, so sure. You can invite me for a beer. I'm not that hard to find. I'm usually over in my forums. So, by the way, I'm going to plug my forums again. So I know I have a Discord that I don't use very often, but my forums I use a lot. So you can find me here if you have questions and things like that. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You can also find me on the Twitters, where I apparently, my salad fingers post at least upset one Arch user today, because some of the Arch people had found my my site, and they said they didn't. What did they say? I didn't like being called a masochist, I think. I don't know. I didn't take it too personal. I'm not a masochist, not cool. I'm not calling that person that. So, I mean, I don't know. I posted it as a joke. So, but I obviously you can find me on the Twitter. So there's another place you can find where I usually post things like this. This really fancy. Wouldn't this be a cool load? Like if it is, yeah. You can find my silliness on Twitter. So I'm an easy person to find. So if you want to get me a beer, cool. I like beer. I think you can ship beer here. So, Tom's Bar. Ping me up, Scotty. Ooh, that's a good one. Well, if you send me unopened beer, I'll drink it. I hear Kyle in the other room. The viewport review will be done tomorrow. When do we get the LTS Expo? I mean, the full on Linus thing. No, I don't run expos. People ask me if I was going to go to Lawrence Fest 2021. No, that seems very, very unlikely. The likelihood of me doing a Linus style fest is pretty unlikely. It's just not my thing. Me showing up at Linus's is a maybe. It's just a really long plane ride, and I don't like being in planes for a very long time because they suck. I don't like being in small places. If I ride first class, I could probably do it. So maybe. Anyways, thank you all for coming here. Thank you all for throwing some money at me and doing stuff like that. Yeah. Ping me up, Scotty. I think that might be a winner. I like that one a lot. That is a good one here. First class to see Linus. No, I don't go to see Linus. I don't have anything against Linus, but the event Linus puts on is pretty good. So I've heard from a lot of people that it's a lot of event. A lot of people have asked me if I would be coming to that event and things like that. So I think there's value in going to the event because other YouTubers in similar space are there, other tech YouTubers. So I think that'd be cool. It's not something that for me that I don't like to travel that much, in case anyone didn't know. Just throwing it out there. This whole pandemic has been great because now I only have to use one excuse why I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, COVID, why didn't you go anywhere? COVID, why didn't you go? What about, can you come over my house? Nope, COVID. I usually have to come up with different excuses. Right now, I'm just like, COVID. So I can just throw that out there all the time and just repeat myself. COVID, that's why I'm not doing anything. Shelter in place is my default. I don't really want to go places. I like being behind a keyboard. I don't mind interacting with people online, but yes. No, Linus is not the Logan Paul. I don't have anything against Linus at all. He's a different category than what I do, but so are a lot of other people. I actually, I get to talk with, we ended up talking for about an hour, Craft Computing. We are similar in some ways, but he dives a lot more into the gaming stuff. But he's great. Actually, I talk to him a lot more frequently now. There's some other cool YouTubers that I probably wouldn't mind meeting in person and hang out with them. There's definitely some fun people in there and things like that. It's all about, Corey kind of said it. Linus's videos are more targeted towards a larger audience. Also, if you want to, I don't remember if I tweeted this or not. Not that it matters. You guys can look this up. That creative. There There you go. This is a good behind-the-scenes interview. So if you don't know, this is a podcast, but it's also done as a YouTube video. It's called That Creative Life. And they do a great interview with Linus. And he talks about why he creates his videos and why he does the things he does and how he does them, a lot of behind the scenes. I found it very interesting. I actually watched the whole thing, even though it's an hour long, and it was good. It was very interesting. And by the way, That Creative Life, MK. This interview was also really good. He's someone who's very interesting on YouTube. We have completely different things we do. I love his style, really top-notch editing and things like that. But, they're still interesting because they're in the tech space and they're in the creative space. So they're still interesting to me. Very different pieces, but it's all kind of fascinating to me. Anyways, let's rant again about something else. Different side of tech. Tom self-hosted shout out of the week. Yeah, I might do some more self-hosted videos on stuff. I know a lot of people do that. Linus for entertainment, Tom for learning. Yeah. The podcast link would be is called That Creative Life Podcast. And just type in That Creative Life, Linus, That Creative Life, MKBHD. It's easy. It's easy to do that. Yeah, I do need to do some more business videos. They're harder to do because they're harder for me to articulate, and can make them concise because it's always trying to figure out what I need to leave out or what I need to put into them. So they're a little bit challenging to do the business videos. But anyways, I'm going to wander off, close all these things that I have open. We'll change my Wi-Fi to ping me up, Scotty. Thank you for letting me know Untangle 15.1 is out, which, cool. I got it downloaded on the live stream here. I replied to the other person that has been fixed. I've been tagged in Twitter. Awesome. I like it. Network details. So that's cool. So thank you, everyone who came in and joined, even though the system, and I'll still show you, it still only says 14, but I know there's more of you, and I know there's more likes. Whenever many likes there are, put more likes in it. And I'll also fix, as soon as we're done and I hit stop, I'll fix this not to have the stream going at 60 frames a second. So thoughts on ULTE price drop per gig? No thoughts on it because I don't use it. We're blessed with lots of internet here in Detroit, and many of our clients have plenty of internet. Therefore, all of our backups are just other providers. We have multiple fiber providers here in Detroit, multiple. Internet is not our challenge here. Literally dozens of us. All right, thanks everyone, and I'm out. Where's the out button? Oh, over here.